So what I want to do in this live, once again, is I want to help to answer questions that you have about hair loss, hair growth. I want to start off by telling you a little bit of my journey, just in case some of you are new. I know that we're always getting new people joining the alopecia free club, the alopecia free movement. So thank everybody who's new, who's never been a part of my journey, or maybe you're just discovering me recently. I just want to thank you for being, once again, awesome and just being a part of what I am trying to do, which is to really help you to get amazing hair growth, but it's equally to help me to learn what I can do to help you all more and better. So what I want to do throughout this live is I'm going to be talking once again a little bit about my hair growth journey. I'm also going to be answering some of your questions as we go throughout. So if you have questions, please click on that little question icon at the bottom and leave your questions. Also, there will be a surprise giveaway at some point during this live. Some of you are going to be getting, a little gift from me just to say thank you for being a part of this live and just thank you for being a part of the journey in general. So with that being said, start answering or start writing questions if you have any. And to everybody who's already said hello, thank you, hi, I'm waving back all the way from where I'm at. Feel free to let all of us know where you are joining from. I know the last time I was on here, I had somebody all the way from Germany. So, thank that person if they are hearing or watching. So first of all, if you have known anything about me, my journey, alopecia free, I'm going to start from the beginning. So many of you know that I had alopecia areata, and you also know that I had traction alopecia. So the alopecia areata was at the back, the traction alopecia was around the edges. And I was able to get my hair growing and flourishing once again. And because of that, I ended up just basically coming on YouTube, really to ask questions about other people who were struggling with their hair growth journey. And a lot of people were giving me such great feedback and such great information on things they were doing for their hair or whatever. But many of you know that I had the bald spot from the alopecia areata. So even though I had traction alopecia and a lot of the tips were very helpful, when it came to the alopecia areata, it was very different. So that's that. You guys know that I had alopecia areata, traction alopecia, and I know that many of you suffer with both, one of the other, or there are people who just struggle with bald spots in general. So if you are here and you are dealing with hair loss issues or hair growth issues, once again, please be encouraged to write your questions, whatever they may be. And I know sometimes people feel like their question has already been answered, or it's just a common sense question, but I really want you to be inspired and encouraged to ask your question, because not only are you helping other people to feel confident enough to ask their question, but sometimes when you ask a question, by me answering your question, I'm also answering that same question for other people who have it. So feel free to ask. Now, when I've discovered that I had alopecia areata, many of you know, first thing I went to do was go to the doctor to find out why I had this bald spot, what was going on. And my doctor told me that it was alopecia areata, and then gave me depressing news that my hair may or may not grow back. And he wanted to give me steroid injections in that spot, on that area where the bald patch was. Now, just me being me, just super paranoid, always thinking and overthinking and being super critical about myself, I thought to myself, if I were to get injections and if I were to, put anything near my scalp or my brain or my eyes, my ears, my senses, I was really nervous about that. And I was really scared. So after the first doctor, I went to get another opinion, and I did get a second opinion, and that doctor told me it was alopecia areata again. I went and got a third opinion, and that doctor also said it was alopecia areata. So now I'm stuck thinking to myself, okay, I have this hair condition that I've never heard of. I'm losing my hair. I have a bald spot patch. So I was freaking out automatically. I was like, oh my goodness, am I going to go bald? And the fear and the anxiety and the stress and the worry that overcame me, many of you understand what I'm talking about, okay? Many of you who've dealt with hair loss in any regard know that fear and that trauma that comes from losing your hair. So that's the first thing. Once I found out I had alopecia areata and I had no idea what it was, and that my doctors were like, we don't really know what's going to happen to you, or, it was just really grim. What I ended up doing was doing research. And this is where a lot of my following, my clients, my fans, whatever you want to call them, this is where a lot of the audience came from, was now based on the fact that I had alopecia areata or like hair loss issues, health issues. That's when I started doing research. That is when I really found YouTube and was really one of those people researching, but using YouTube as a tool. And so what it helped me to do was it really helped me to be able to share what I was going through, put everything online, but then it really helped other people to connect with me. They were sharing their stories and we're all like crying together. We were all, you know, helping each other out emotionally and mentally. However, when it came to physically growing the hair back, this is where we were all kind of trying to figure it out. Well, what should we do? Should we, you know, use natural stuff? Should we go back to the doctor? And it was a wonderful community of people who really, really just wanted to help me to get my hair growth back. And then once again, I was that for a lot of other people online. And some of these people I still associate with and talk to today. And this has been over, you know, this 9-10 years at this point. So when I was able to communicate with people, there was so much great information that came up and I would just research everything. I would research and I would pray and I would research and pray and just, God, like, what did you want from me? How could this happened? First of all, I was shocked. I was like, I was in my 20s. So I felt like, you know, how do I have health issues and I'm losing my hair? But on top of that, I was just terrified because I didn't know how bad it was going to get and nobody had any answers. So that's where the alopecia free journey started from. It was really, once again, me sharing information, me getting feedback, me doing hours of research, and then just, once again, God being in it and just praying about everything. And that is how alopecia free was born. So with that being said, first of all, does anybody so far have questions about my hair loss journey as far as traction alopecia or alopecia areata just specifically? Does anybody have questions on injections, steroid shots, anything in that world? Or does anybody have questions when it comes to your doctor? Maybe if there's something that your doctor said that you're confused about, once again, go ahead and write down your questions and share them. Let me go ahead. It looks like I have 2 questions so far, so I'm going to see what I can see, and let me start to see if I can answer questions. So I have Youngs 629, and once again, I've never really done a YouTube live before, so this is all new to me. As you ask your questions, I'm going to answer a few, and then I'm going to get back to, I don't want to say storytelling, but I'm going to get back to trying to help people as often, you know, with more information. I'm going to hop back on, answer more questions, and it's just going to be a back and forth for a little bit until there are pretty much no more questions or until I have to go. So Young629 says she was diagnosed, or he, sorry, was diagnosed with CCCA in 2015, and they have some scarring. What can they do to grow their hair back? Okay, so this is a great question. So let me just drop down the other question. But before I answer your question, JDSS7474, your question is next. So let me start with CCCA and scarring alopecia. So this specific alopecia, CCCA, there's 2 forms. And I mean, the doctors usually will say it's a form of scarring alopecia and your hair is not going to grow back. And if you have true scarring and you can see, visibly see that there is a scar that looks like a scar and it so happens to be on your scalp and you can see that, then you're in a different boat than most. Because when I work with clients, a lot of times I don't see that physical scar. There are scars on the hair follicles. However, there's nothing that I can visibly see for the most part that I know the hair is not going to grow back. So with that being said, if you can send me a picture to alopecia free with Jazz@gmail.com. Sorry, I'm thinking of all of the other people that I work with. But if you can send an email to me specifically and let me know that you were on the live, and here's your picture with the CCCA. If you could send me a picture, I can give you more professional feedback. As far as what I can give you right now, I'm going to give you kind of like a personal / professional. When it comes to CCCA, if you have scarring alopecia, it's a very different road. If you have non-scarring alopecia, which if you do your research, it will say that CCCA is a form of scarring alopecia. Now, why I say there is non-scarring and scarring is because a lot of times people have worked with me. Their doctors have said that their hair is never going to grow back. And while working with me, their hair has grown back. So was it true CCCA with scarring or was it a misdiagnosis? And that is where I kind of fit in. That's where I'm in the gray area. A lot of times doctors especially dermatologists, are there to deal with a lot of different skin issues. So you're dealing with skin cancer, you're dealing with warts, you're dealing with eczema, psoriasis, you're dealing with a lot of different skin issues that when it comes to the scalp, a lot of times their focus is not primarily the scalp and your hair follicles and growing your hair back. That's not really their avenue of expertise. It's really to look over your scalp and say, oh, you have a scar, or you have this, or you have this, and this is what you should go do about it, without really spending the time to do a lot of one-on-one, to do a lot of questioning. And that's where trichologists come into play. So a lot of people ask me, well, what is a trichologist? We are people who specialize in specifically scalp and hair issues. So anything with hair loss, anything with scalp issues, that is where we come into play, because that's all we actually focus on. So we're not looking for anything else on your body, just your scalp and your hair. And so with that being said, with the CCCA, now please contact me once again, because if you do not have true CCCA and it is not true scarring, then there is a really good chance that your hair can grow back. And I have worked with people over the years who have, once again, they've told me that their doctor said their hair will never grow back. And then while working with me, their hair did grow back. So please do not lose hope. I know online everywhere it says, oh, if you are diagnosed with CCCA, it's done for you. And, buy a wig and go get a scarf. That is not always the case. But once again, I am not somebody who likes to give false hope either. And so therefore, send me pictures and give me much more information, and I'll be so happy to help you specifically. But to answer your question, in the meantime, what you really want to do is you really want to make sure that you are using all natural products, all natural. So if that means cutting out anything with perfumes, alcohols, parabens, anything that's going to clog your hair follicles, or anything that's going to contribute to more itching, sensitivity, hair loss, damage, you want to stop all of that stuff, like literally today. If you need to stop it tomorrow, stop it tomorrow. But the faster you stop using anything that can be potentially damaging your hair and your actual scalp, then you want to do that ASAP. The other thing that you really, really want to make sure that you're doing, if the area is not sensitive, then please do daily scalp massages and, just do the perimeter. If your CCCA is in the middle, then just gently massage around that bald spot so that you're continuously sending signals to your body, once again, to send nutrients, blood, oxygen to that area so that your body can do the work to bring what it needs to get your hair growing back and flourishing. So those are the things I would do. One, I would stop using products that are not helpful, not all natural, that's for sure. The second thing is I would really try to stick to using natural products that help with stimulation. And then I would really want to encourage you, once again, to do daily scalp massages. And with the natural product stimulation, if you have anything that says tea tree oil in your actual products, that would be really, really great. If you do not have that, then just use a few drops of tea tree oil and just rub it on the area. Maybe do that every other night. But once again, please send me pictures. Please send me as much information as possible so I can give you better help and help you better. Okay, so let me get on with my other question. I'm so sorry here. So we've got JDSS7474. I was diagnosed in 2017 with alopecia areata and female pattern baldness in several locations on my scalp, but nothing is working to regrow those balding areas. My doctors stated I have scarring on my scalp and it won't grow back. I can't find a trichologist in my area that's accepting new patients. Okay, this is where I come in, yay. So please, once again, if there's any way that you can send me pictures of your scalp, and I'm talking about, sorry, I got hair on my lip. I'm talking about if you could really zoom in, get a friend, get a family member to really zoom into the area so that I can get a good look at your hair follicles, get a really good look at your scalp. I can give you more feedback. Obviously, when it comes to scalp issues, there's only so much you can do online. However, because I've been doing this for so long, there are certain things that I can pick out in picture form, and then I'll have a lot of follow-up questions for you. So if I see something like a discoloration, or I see raised bumps, or I see hair follicles that do look like they're either not there or they look sealed over, then I'll have some follow-up questions for you. But if your doctor once again said that your hair will never ever grow back, once again, take that with 50-50. It may or it may not, because once again, people have been misdiagnosed, and many people, I it's almost 50-50 at this point. So many people have told me the same thing, that my doctor said my hair will never grow back, and it grew back. So please be encouraged, and please do not give up. If it's not in you to give up, don't give up. Send me those pictures. But in the meantime, I would suggest that you do exactly what the lady with CCCA is doing, because that, once again, is a form of scarring alopecia. Once again, take out products that you should not be using, anything that can cause inflammation to your scalp, anything that might lead to sensitivity or damage just to the scalp. And then I would implement natural products. And once again, I am not just talking about mine. There are so many wonderful products out there, different countries, different locations. Get your hands on natural products that aid in scalp stimulation. And then once again, I would do some nightly scalp massages. If there are any areas on your scalp that are sore, red, bumpy, sensitive, massage around those areas. If that is your entire scalp right now, which I don't think based on what you're telling me, but if for anybody else listening, if there's any other area on your scalp where you just can't massage, you cannot touch it because it's sore or sensitive, then do the areas that are not sore and sensitive. But if it's your entire scalp, then once again, just get a little bit of tea tree oil, dab it on the areas with the worst burn, the worst, sensitivity, and just 2 or 3 drops, put it directly onto your scalp and just leave it for the night. Do not use anything else. And hopefully that gives you some relief. But in the meantime, send me those pictures of your scalp, and I am here to help you, which is once again why I really like lives, because I can instantaneously get around to a lot more people. And many of you know that if you send me emails, I will get around to you. It's just not this quick. So alopeciafreewithjas@gmail.com. Email me and I'm here to help you. Okay. Let me move on to another question. We have blessed to, I don't know how to read these, but blessed to have Aiden, right? Okay. How long did it take you to regrow your hair back? Okay, that's a good question. Right after you, I'm going to go back to answering, once again, Young's 629, and then again with JDSS 7474. So how long did it take me to regrow my hair back from alopecia? From in the area where I had alopecia areata, from start to finish, it took about 1 full year. I saw hair growth literally, and I'm not joking, after 1 month of starting my regimen, as far as using the shampoo and the alopecia scalp, either the scalp balm or the whipped mixture, very similar as far as what they do. But within 1 month, 4 weeks, that's when I started to feel the little baby hairs. And if you go back onto my YouTube videos, back in the day, I even used to document, hey guys, I could feel some hairs growing, and I documented a lot of that just once again to encourage the other people that were on that journey with me. I did not think it would be what it is, but it took 1 full year from the time I started to really be consistent with using natural products, cutting out all the other products. Many of you know that I had shaved off all of my hair at one point because I was just so, it was really hard to just see the hair falling out every time I went in the shower, or, anytime I would touch it, there was just hair everywhere. And so mentally and emotionally, it was easier for me to just shave it off and start over. But to answer your question, it took me a full year from start to finish of just being consistent. And that's when I saw I'll tell you a funny story very quickly, is that the side that had the alopecia actually grows longer, faster than the side that didn't have the alopecia. And my theory is that I spent so much time massaging, putting natural oils, doing the most on the one side, that I've actually seen longevity in the length and the thickness on that one side. So make that be a point to you. If you have alopecia on one side or hair loss on one side, do what you're doing to both sides, because you are going to see a difference once the hair starts growing back. So let me answer a couple more questions here. Okay, so we've got another, so we've got DST_mom. I'm sorry, I think I skipped you. You ask, can you use tea tree oil in addition to topical medication prescribed by a dermatologist? Well, it depends on how you're using it. Okay, so if you are using, like let's say your scalp is itchy, right? And your doctor gave you an anti-inflammatory, maybe something to help to stop the itch. And maybe you put it on there and you leave it on for a little bit. And then, maybe you realize, 2 hours later, your scalp is really itchy. It's really irritated. I can't be 100% sure. Obviously, we all have to do our research and speak to our doctors. But I personally, when it comes to natural products, I'm not one of those people who is really super, what's the word? Like, if you want to use both, you can use both, right? I'm not like, oh, if you're using medication, then you cannot use healthy products. I don't believe in that. I think like even when you're taking pills or your doctor gives you medication, there are certain natural teas and things that you could still have while you are using whatever your doctor prescribes. But just for a rule of thumb, just to be safe, let's say you used your prescribed medication in the day, then I would use a natural treatment at night or vice versa, but I wouldn't do them exactly at the same time because one, you're not going to know it's working. You're not going to know if it's what the doctor's prescribing or what the natural thing is. So you don't know it's working. But two, if now something starts going wrong, if now you notice your scalp is itchy, it's inflamed, it's burning, there's other issues. Once again, you don't know if it's because of the mix. You don't know if it's because of the natural product. You don't know if it's because of what your doctor gave you. And so whenever it comes to anything, when you're mixing medication with natural, I just wouldn't do them at the same time, if that makes sense. And hopefully that answers your question. But if it doesn't, feel free to ask a few more questions before I head off. Sorry, I've got my mod showing me that I have a question. So, okay, so is this from Instagram? Okay. So sorry, we have, Madame Kenny. Okay, I can read. Okay. I have CCCA on my crown area, but my hair is long. Do I have to wash my hair weekly while using your products in the scalp system? And I'm assuming the scalp system has the 4 products. Okay, so you have CCA, your hair is long. Okay, so if you have long hair, and this is a good question to everybody out there who has longer hair than it being shaved off. How do I say this? Because, okay, how often do they want to wash? Wash my hair. Do I have to wash my hair weekly? Okay. Hold on. I'm at a loss here because usually people ask if they don't have to wash their hair multiple times a week, right? So sometimes when your hair is really low, I encourage people, hey, if you can get some extra stimulation, some extra moisture by washing, once or 2 times a week. If it's really low, even 3 times a week. So a lot of people have a question about that, like how often for the week, right? You're saying you wash it once per week, but your hair is really, really long. Is there any way you can tell me how long it is? Is it bra strap length, waist length? And I do deal with people who have literally like bum length and then they have a bald spot. And for those people, once again, everything's going to be a little different. I would say weekly is the minimum amount of time I would want you to wash your hair, right? So if you wash your hair once a week, if that's the max or the minimum, I'd be happy with at least you washing once a week. If you're asking me because your hair is super long, if you're asking me, hey Jess, can I wash every other week? Now this is up to you. If you have a bald spot, if you have any sort of hair loss issues, I would encourage you highly to try and wash at least once a week. And once again, depending on how much hair loss you have, if it's a big area, then you really might want to contact me because I might even suggest that you do spot treatments. So if you could just, let's say there was a bald spot at the front, sorry, on your edges, I would even encourage you to wash that with some shampoo or, make sure that you're moisturizing that bald area or that thinning area throughout the week instead of leaving it for 2 or 3 weeks for the rest of the hair, if that makes any sense. You said your hair is bra strap length. Girl, good on you, okay? Congratulations for such a beautiful length, getting into bra strap length. I know that that's challenging. In your situation, I still would suggest once a week would be the bare minimum. If possible, I would try even, I don't want to say it because I get it. We're going to have to talk. Girly, email me. Let's talk. Let's go back and forth because I don't want to dry out the hair you have, but I equally want to grow any bald spots or thinning. So we're going to have to work together, but I would say once a week is the absolute minimum. I wouldn't skip a week. Okay, so we have another question. Oops, I moved my camera. Is it okay to use a derma roller for blood circulation? Okay, honestly, I am not even lying to you. This is on my list of shorts to film this week. Literally using a derma roller, and I even have my prop, and I would even get it for you. Where is it? It's in that basket. Can you get it right there? I literally was about to film this because there are so many good benefits from using a derma roller for not only blood circulation, but, you know, once again, using natural products. And then the derma roller, you're getting that directly onto your, see, look, this is not a brand I recommend. I do not work with the company. I don't know anything about the company. It was just a prop for my video. But once again, it is coming. I would say, if possible, yes, derma rollers are great to use, but please make sure you are using the right one. And I cannot describe in the limited amount of time which one the right one is. So please follow me while you're on Instagram. Please check in on Instagram sometime this week, because you will be getting that short and I will have more detail for you. But to answer your question, yes, you can use the derma roller. The how and the specifics, check out the video that I'll be filming this week, because it will be so much more helpful than something that I can share just on this quick live. So let me get another question. So Blue Roses 21 says, what products to use for a dry scalp? So once again, is it just a dry scalp because your scalp is dry, so you come out of the shower and it's dry? Or are you experiencing flaking, dandruff? Is it itchy? Are there flakes falling everywhere? So is it just dry, just naturally dry? Or is it dry because there's a scalp condition? If it is naturally dry, I would say use any sort of all natural scalp balm, any sort of natural scalp conditioner. If possible, I mean, oil is great, just using like just plain like a scalp oil as well. But I do like the butters a little bit, just because it really helps to keep the moisture, I think, locked in a little bit longer. The oils I do find can get a little bit runny. All of a sudden, you know, maybe when I would put oil on my actual scalp, it would run down and cause all of these bumps around the edges. So I know when it comes to, you know, like a scalp balm versus a scalp oils are great for daily scalp massages. If you have to use them to get your hair stimulated and growing, and then you go to bed, you wake up in the morning, your scalp is most likely still not super dry and a little moisturized. But if you're starting your day off, I would do something more like a butter, because once again, you don't want to even risk getting the oils dripping onto your clothes going out for work, or you start sweating. So oils is kind of like my secondary as far as just for conditioning your scalp. But if you can get a really good quality scalp balm, something that has like a bit more texture, if that makes any sense, a bit more conditioning properties than just plain oil, I think you would be much better suited. But if that doesn't answer your question, that's what I would do. I would use some sort of scalp balm. Let me see. I've got time for a couple more questions. Do I not have time? No. Okay, I can do a few more questions. Oh wait, I have a giveaway. Okay, if you're still here, how many people are here? 27 people. I have a surprise giveaway. Okay. Now, the rules to this giveaway, I have no idea. I literally just came up with it on the spot. Now, if the first 3 people who can write where they are from right now in the world, okay, whether you're from Texas, Germany, wherever you're from, the 3 people who could just tell me where they're from, and so I could say hi to them and just shout out that country or that state or that town, whatever. You 3 people will be going home with I'm not going to tell you until I get those 3 people. So tell me who the 3 people are while I answer a question. Oh, I got Los Angeles. Oh, Cali. I love Cali. Virginia. Okay. Arizona. Are those the top? We've got Virginia. We've got Cali, Virginia, and Arizona. So Blue Roses. Sorry, can we scroll down to Blue Roses? JDSS7474 and Jennifer Rose. Please email me at alopecia-free. Oh my God, why do I keep forgetting it? Alopecia-free with Jas. So WITH, and then my first half of my name, JASS @gmail.com. I will be giving you, I want to give you either one of my ebooks. These ebooks are really, really good if you have hair issues in general. I want to either give you the diet and detox ebook or the hair growth ebook. And both of these ebooks are loaded with information. And from there, if you have any questions, I'll know that it's you from the live. So just jump on when you send me that email, and I'll go ahead and answer whatever questions that you have or that I can help you with. I'm so sorry. DM me on Instagram. Come on. Sorry, I'm so used to YouTube. I tell people on YouTube to email me, but DM me right here, right now. And I will go, oh, hi from Jamaica. Okay, you know what, Jamaica. Tammy, what is it? Tammy something bless. Tammy, you know what? Jamaica, I do have some family in Jamaica. You know, I do have a little bit of my family down there. So because, you know, email me too. You email me, Tammy. Tammy, va bless. Ever bless. Oh my gosh. It's too late. It's too late. Okay, so from Jamaica, since you're outside of America, then I do want to give you something for being here on this live. I thank you so much for being a part of it. I have a couple more questions. Let me answer, and then I do have to get going. Oh, I'm gonna say hi. Haiti. Okay, hold on. Haiti, you email me too. Mara Vano. Okay, email me too, because you're from Haiti. We gotta represent. We gotta DM or email. Hi from Philadelphia. Oh, okay. Okay, so let me just answer one or two more questions here. Okay, you know what? My dermatologist has me using, and then whatever, I don't want to say it on YouTube, but has you using that for a dry, flaky scalp. And I feel I need to wash my scalp frequently, but worry about drying out my curly hair. I love this question. My hair has thinned over the years, but dermatologist can't explain what's causing it. Just looking for some tips. Okay, first of all, if your hair has thinned over the years, email me because I have some troubleshooting to do with you. But as far as you overwashing your scalp, overwashing your hair, thank you so much for asking this question, because I love questions like this where, you know, you're concerned about your hair and over, you know, getting it too dry. So this is, okay, when you are on a hair growth journey and trying to regrow your hair back from alopecia, bald spots, hair loss, anything like that, the first thing that I've always told my clients and the people that I work with are, my focus is to try to get your hair growing back in the areas with bald spots, with thinning. That's like my main focus. So secondary comes to taking care of the hair that's there. So if we are focusing on growing back the bald spot, I would put my focus towards the bald spot and then then be very cautious about the hair that is left over, the remaining hair. So I would even say, if you are concerned about your hair or your scalp being too dry, let that be a secondary concern to growing your hair back. And what I would say with that is, if your scalp is really dry and you feel like it needs to be in water more often, I'm a fan of water. I love water. I love getting my hair and my scalp wet on a regular basis. If there's a way that you can put your hair in, maybe like twist this or put it in like Bantu knots. So my hair is constantly, I don't want to show you my hair, it's dirty, but my hair is constantly in Bantu knots, really, like even under the scarf. It's just always, and I only did this because of the live, but you can see that the curl is still there because it's usually in Bantu knots. And that just really helps to keep the moisture locked in. If there's a way that you can do twists on your natural hair, or do something like I said, like just Bantu knots, where you are getting your hair wet, you're getting your scalp wet, but then you are once again putting in, sorry, I'm not prepared. This is not YouTube, but I usually have my props. But if you have any sort of, like I said, like the retention mixture, some of the hair oil, put the hair oil on, put the retention mixture on, and then put it back in a Bantu knot or put it back in its twist. Do not comb, do not brush, just literally moisturize and put it back in whatever style it was in. That is really going to help you to not only be able to moisturize your dry, itchy, flaky scalp, which once again, it's really good to get your scalp wet, especially if it's dry and itchy and flaky, because it's helping to soften and remove some of those scales. So it's really important that if it's really dry and it's you can tell that the irritation is because it's dry, it's highly important and recommended that you do get it wet. Now, as far as your hair goes, please just make sure to use what you need to use. I think I have a moisturizing, I have a moisture hair kit that has a leave-in spritz, it has an oil, and it has the retention mixture. Those three products alone on your hair strands right after you wet your scalp will really help to keep the moisture locked into your hair. And I'm telling you, it's going to be, like, this is really dry hair. Like, my hair has probably not been washed for probably 2 weeks, okay? So it's really dry, but you can see the quality. You can still see it's shiny. You can still see that it's healthy, and that's because that's what I do. I literally keep it wrapped up. I put on literally I don't use the oil as often, but I use the retention mixture all the time. Like, whatever I need it, that's what goes on. And that has really helped my hair to stay soft, moisturized, conditioned, and it just keeps growing and flourishing to the point where I keep having to cut my bangs because it's just looking unkept. It's just looking like it's just, and I keep trying to, make it look half decent, but it just grows. So if you take care of your scalp, if you take care of your hair, it will grow. And once again, to answer your question, if you have a dry scalp, don't be afraid to get your hair wet and your scalp wet. Just make sure that you are moisturizing your hair after you wet it. And if it's in a style, like if it's already in cornrows or if it's already in braids, then you don't have to, you could skip that moisture step. But if you need water on your scalp, listen, do it. And I'm telling you, I've done it for years. I do it literally whenever I feel like it. Whenever my hair feels dry, I jump in the shower, I get it wet. I massage away all of the flakes, all of the dirt, the debris, the dander, whatever, and it grows. With that being said, folks, I do have to go. Thank you so much for being a part of this live. Thank you all for your love and your support. I appreciate it. All the waves back. And I will be posting either on YouTube, Instagram, when I will be doing another live. But I want to do these more often because I really feel like it's been helping so many people, especially people who don't get a chance to email me or do consultations. It really helps to just get our feet wet with the questions and the answers, and you guys get a little bit more of my personality because, you know, online you always see me all, you know, put together. But here, you know, I could let the hair out a little bit, right? I could look a little crazy, right? No. With that being said, you guys have a wonderful evening. God bless, and hopefully I will see you in the next live. Bye.